Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. I'm Brian. Mr. Smith, this is my kitchen. If you're new to my channel, glad you found me. If you're returning, thank you. You're the best. Thank you either way. Don't forget, while we're thinking about it, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want. That way you know when I'm want to tell you something that's really cool, or time to cook dinner, or bake something, or garden, or do whatever. But if you are new, Tuesdays we talk about how not to cough on camera. Excuse me. We talk on Tuesdays. We talk about social issues, current events, anything that may come top of mind. Lately, it's been people going way too fast on the freeway, and work ethic. It's kind of what we've been talking about. Wednesdays we try to cook dinner. Well, we don't try. We do cook dinner because I cook dinner, and we always try to do something new when it comes to dinner, and we always try to bake something new when we bake things, whether it be cookies, cakes, pies, whatever. But we always try to do new recipes. Occasionally, I throw something in that's been a standard in our household for a while. That's really good. Like I had mentioned yesterday, I want to maybe in the next week or two try this Alfredo taco, chicken taco that Chris came up with or found the recipe for quite some time ago. That's absolutely amazing. It was like a lost recipe. So anyhow, that being said, we are going to, thumbs up, thumbs down. Always love comments. You don't have to do the thumbs up, thumbs down thing, but it is nice to see. Leave me a comment though on anything. Just make sure it's nice. We've got all age groups of subscribers from young to old, so, and in our community we try to keep it pleasant. But if you have questions, comments, concerns, things like that, always welcome. So tonight for dinner we're gonna try a new recipe. It is it's a Hungarian paprika chicken. All right, and it quite good. I think, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we've not tried it yet, but I got this out of Better Homes and Gardens. Don't laugh. Great magazine. Lots of information when it comes to doing your house. Stuff for your house. And they've always got great recipes. We've got a handful of home magazines, I guess you could say women's magazines, that we get our recipes from, or we get some recipes from. I do at any rate. That they're great recipes. Some of them a little more complex than others, but all in all great recipes. So anyhow, this recipe, the Hungarian chicken paparikash, is, from what I'm reading, this is kind of a quick weeknight meal. I'm not going to lie. This shouldn't take us any more than 30 minutes tops to make. It's just got a handful of ingredients. You spend more time prepping than cooking, and you don't even spend that long of a time prepping. So why don't we go over the ingredients list a little bit. Let me move the camera and you over so that way you can kind of better see what I'm doing. I'm going to bring the camera down just a hair so you can kind of see everything that's going on. I'm sorry I won't be able to completely see your smiley face, but that's okay. We'll be right back up in no time. First thing we will need, okay, is 3 tablespoons total of olive oil. You're going to want 2 tablespoons in a little container and then 1 tablespoon in another container, or you can just do like we're going to do tonight and use the bottle. We're just going to use it to cook the chicken with and then saute some vegetables. The next thing you're going to need is 1.5 pounds of boneless chicken breast. It's about 2 chicken breasts, so you're going to need about 2 chicken breasts, and we're going to dice it up. Okay, you want it diced up in about 2-inch cubes, or something like that. I mean, you can go bigger, smaller. That's completely up to you. Remember, with cooking, you can vary things. Most things are just a base that you build off of. Next thing you will need is salt and pepper. Okay, salt and pepper, and there is no measurement for the salt and pepper because we're just going to use this to taste. That way it'll be completely up to you. We're literally going to sprinkle it on the chicken and let it sit for a minute. You will need, after your salt and pepper, 1 large onion, and you want to dice it up. Right here is our large onion, diced up. Now, if you prep ahead of time, we'd go to the grocery store, and you know you're going to cook things. I have a video about pre-planning meals. If you know you're going to make this dish or a dish that's got diced onions, when you go to the grocery store and get your onions, dice them up right away and put them in a handy-dandy storage container. That way you don't have to worry about prepping it that night. And bam, you just saved yourself 20 minutes. The next thing you'll need is one large red onion. Once diced. Also, wow, that smells really good. The smell of a sweet pepper is actually quite awesome. You will need 4 cloves of garlic finely chopped. Right here's our 4 cloves of garlic finely chopped. Now, let's say you don't want to cut up your garlic, or you don't want to dice your garlic, or maybe you're just not, at that stage of your cooking. So you could just as easily get a jar of already chopped up, diced garlic, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I a lot of times just use a garlic press, which does the same thing. I do think fresh garlic adds a better flavor. Well, a more intense flavor. Not a better, garlic's kind of garlic. The next item on our grocery list is 3 tablespoons of flour. And we're going to use that as a thickener. It'll be really cool. And then you will need 1.5 tablespoons of Hungarian paprika. Now, that being said, your grocery store where you live may not carry Hungarian paprika. It's okay to use regular paprika. The recipe that where I got this recipe from even said if available. If not, it's okay just to use regular paprika. Now, might I recommend you use smoked paprika? That's almost as readily available as just standard old paprika. But use whatever you have. If it's in your cabinet, use it. Don't go out and buy it if you don't have to. The next thing you will need is a 14-ounce can of whole tomatoes. Now, right here is my 14-ounce can of whole tomatoes. We have a garden. If you're new to my channel, go back and look at some of our other videos, and you'll see the garden. But I had some tomatoes that were actually ripened out there, not enough to pick to make anything with as far as salsa or tomato sauce yet. Thank you. But I had a handful of them, and believe it or not, it actually turned out to be 14 ounces. There was like six Roma tomatoes. I almost solely use Roma tomatoes for everything. They're meaty, they're flavorful, and they're not quite as juicy. And when cooking, you don't always want juicy. So you'll need that. You will need a 1 cup of chicken broth. 1 cup of chicken broth. Now, if you you can buy the quart containers of chicken broth, and those are fine. We bought those for a long time. We do make our own chicken broth now, but we also use it's a brand called Better Than Bouillon, and it comes in a little jar, and you can mix up just a little bit at a time, and it has in my opinion, a better flavor than say the cubes of bouillon. So that's what we're using. But either way it goes, you need a cup of chicken broth, and then you will need a teaspoon. And this is an option. You don't have to put it in there. Anywhere from a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of hot sauce. And then the last ingredient I haven't even gotten out yet, but I will before we need it. And that is a half a cup of sour cream. And that's it. That is our entire ingredient list. All right, well, let me get the camera adjusted. Oh, you will need some egg noodles and some fresh chopped parsley, because this dish goes over the egg noodles, and then you sprinkle the chopped parsley over top of it. But I'm getting ready to do the noodles here in a second. I'll do those off camera, and I'm going to get my camera adjusted so that way we can start looking at the how to cook this. All right, I'll see you here in a second. All right, so got us all set up here, I think. While I was off camera, I went ahead and chopped up some fresh parsley real quick, got the sour cream, so we're all taken care of there. Now, the first thing we need to do is kind of play with our chicken for a little bit, and we're just going to add some salt and some pepper to taste. I'm going to use about maybe a quarter to a half teaspoon of salt, and about a half a teaspoon of pepper. Okay? And then to save me my hands, we're going to take a set of tongs and we're just going to mix that up. We want to get it in there good. All right, well, we got that going. We're going to turn our burner on. Get that on a good medium high. And we're going to warm up our pan, okay? And we're going to put our oil in there. Now, what you're looking for with our oil, remember it's two tablespoons of oil. So, or as Rachel Ray would say, about 2 turns of the pan, which I'm not very good at, but about that much. As my other YouTube friend would say, Kent Rollins, you need about that much. But it's 2 tablespoons. We're going to let that heat up. And the purpose of putting the salt and the pepper on the chicken, especially the pepper to taste, is just for taste. But the salt, not only does it add a little bit of flavor, but it also helps on a cellular level to loosen up the chicken, and it makes it moist and tender. When you cook it, it relaxes it, and it'll allow it to be a moist and tender chicken, which is what we want. So we're just waiting on our oil to dance here. Won't be but just a second, I think. All right, see how we're smoking? Got that smoking. So our next thing we need to do is just go ahead and put our chicken in there. Put our chicken in, get it going, and we're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, okay? We want to get it golden brown. Get the heat down just a little bit there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on this, and we're going to let it cook for 5 minutes. And then when I come back, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so we got our chicken. It's got a nice golden color to it. Not quite cooked all the way, but that's all right because it's coming back in the pool to play with the other kids here in a little bit. So we got our color on there. That's what we were looking for, so let's get them out. Alright, got them out. Now we're going to put our other tablespoon of oil in there. Alright, other tablespoon of oil. And the next person to come in the pot and get cooked is the onions. And we're going to let these onions cook until they're brown and softened. Which is going to take probably about 3 or 4 minutes. You also want to turn your heat down. You want it to be medium-ish. Which would be about the halfway mark on your stove top. Alright. Heck, might not even take that long. Yeah, we want to get them soft too. But you want to stir them because you don't want them to burn. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take care of these, and here in a couple minutes I'll be right back and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so we got nice good color on those onions, looking good, not burnt, golden brown. That's what we were looking for, looking to achieve there. So we got that. Now we want to add in our red bell pepper. And we're going to get some softness on that. And we're going to throw in our garlic. All our garlic. Well, I tell you what, I wish you guys could smell this because it smells amazing. And we're just going to let this cook for another minute or two. And get those peppers to soften up, and the garlic to roast just a little. You don't want to burn your garlic. You want to keep it moving as much as possible. If you let it burn, it'll leave a bitter taste. It'll make the food taste a little bitter. You'll know if you burn it, hands down. But you should start to smell all of this. Yeah, like right now, if you guys could just smell this, it's, I'm telling you, it's to die for. Indeed. Back in there. All right, we got a good golden color there. Everything's softened up. Next thing we need to do is we're going to put our flour in, okay? We're just going to sprinkle that in on top of everything, give it a stir, and we're looking to, essentially cook our flour. We don't want it to, you don't want to see any white when you're done. It is our objective. And it takes about a minute maybe. We're not looking to make a dark roux, so to speak, but what the flour does is by cooking it, it activates the flour and it'll help thicken up the sauce. Because the chicken broth is going to make the sauce. So like you can see right there, we don't have any color left. The white of the flour is gone now. So the next thing we want to do is throw our paprika in. Okay. Now what the paprika does is going to activate with the oils that are all over the onions, and it wakes it up. Just hands down wakes it up. Gives it a great, you can smell it already. Now, you're saying to yourself, yeah, but Brian, that's sticking to the bottom of the pan. That's okay. We want that, because what's going to happen, man, that smells good, is all that bits of stuff stuck to the bottom of the pan is going to lift right off of there once we pour the tomatoes and the chicken broth in there, which is what we're going to do next. Okay, so now I got a good smell. Shouldn't take any more than 30 seconds to wake up that paprika. And we've got the flour cooked. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our chicken broth in, which is going to loosen up all those little bits on the bottom. See that? How it's coming right off? No longer little bits. Man, that looks good. And then we're going to add our tomatoes. So now we got our tomatoes in there. Now when you get your whole tomatoes from the store, you're going to want to dice those up. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning, but you're going to want to dice them up. But yeah, see how all that, I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, you can see it. See how all that, all the stuff that was on the bottom came off of it? That's because, and now it's got so much flavor running around in there. It's amazing. Oh. Okay. So we're going to let this cook down for about 5 minutes. We're going to let it thicken up, is what we're going to do. And then we only got a couple ingredients left to throw in this, and this will be ready to put over some egg noodles and garnish with some parsley. All right, see you in just 1 second. So we let this cook down for 5 minutes, and now it's thickened up nicely. We just got to add our chicken back to it, along with all the drippings. You want to make sure you get those drippings in there. That's flavor. Yeah, you want that in there. And then we got to add our hot sauce. Now, like I said, the hot sauce is optional. You don't have to put hot sauce in it if the hot sauce isn't your thing. The recipe did call for it, though. And we like hot sauce. So we're going to go ahead and coat this. And here's where we're going to finish cooking the chicken down. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cover this with the lid. And as soon as I get it all nice and coated with that delicious sauce. Well, I can't even honestly say if it's delicious yet or not. I didn't even get any on my fingers to try it, which will be a first for me. Get that coated. And we'll get our lid, which I'm going to have to dry off real quick. There it is. Excellent. All right. Dry it off real quick. And I'm just going to let this finish cooking the chicken for the next 5 minutes. And then after that, we'll take it off the heat, throw some sour cream in it, and it'll be ready to try. All right, give me just 1 second. We'll finish her up. Okay, so we let this cook for about 5, maybe 6, 7 minutes. And I know it looks and smells amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we're going to go ahead and turn the heat off. Give it a good stir around. Give it a second, because we're about to put the sour cream in it, and the recipe says to do it off heat. So the heat is off, and with this being a gas burner, when the heat's off, the heat's off. It's not like an electric burner. Now, if you're using an electric range for this, take it off the burner. If you don't, you'll still be getting that heat from underneath of it. So, we'll go ahead, grab our sour cream. Remember, half a cup of sour cream. Get that in there. We'll give this a good stir around. Lighten up that color a little bit. Now, with the hot sauce, I was thinking about this while it was cooking down. You know, it depends on how much you put in there. It will depend on how hot it is. But the sour cream, just like if you're eating a Mexican dish or whatever that's, got a kick to it. Eat your tacos, put some hot sauce on it, and then you add sour cream to it. It tames down the heat on the hot sauce. Because like if you're eating peppers, jalapenos, whatever, you want to have milk, not water. The dairy actually helps kill the heat. So you want that. All right, look at that. Is that not gorgeous? It just screams, I taste delicious, right? So what we'll do next, and I got the noodles sitting right there in the red pot. My lovely assistant, Miss Chris Smith, was making those off camera. In case you don't know who Chris is, if you're new to my channel, Chris is my wife. Been my wife for almost 2 decades now. We've been together for almost 2 decades now. So let me grab a plate. Grab a plate here. Take the lid off the noodles. Ooh, those are bad boys, they're steaming. Find my tongs, which I don't know where they're at. That's alright. We'll make do. Remember, when in doubt, improvise. Grab us some noodles here. There's some of that on there. Now I'll tell you what, that looks and smells delicious. Hopefully it'll taste as good as it looks. But there we are. That is Hungarian paparikash chicken. Alright, so I'll set that down real quick. Oh, wait, I forgot. We want to garnish it with some parsley. That is Hungarian paparikash chicken. Let me set this down so I can...
Paprikash chicken?
Paprikash. That's what it's called. Yeah. Let me get this up so I can see your smiling face. Yep, yep. There you are. I missed you this entire time. It bothers me to not look at you eye to eye when we talk. I just got called silly. Well, that wasn't exactly the word she used, but it'll do for now. Since we are a family-friendly show. So anyhow, let's give it a shot. Let's see how she tastes, if I can keep some noodles on there. That is really good. Yeah, I mean, you can taste everything in it. I'll have another bite. The sauce is not horribly spicy. You can obviously taste the paprika. That is the main part of the dish. But you can also taste the garlic and the peppers and the flavor from where we essentially sauteed them, browned it all. It's in there. That chicken is nice and tender for where we let it sit even with that, just that few minutes, chicken you don't want to let sit long with the salt, as it does slowly start to break down the muscle. And so about, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes usually works well for chicken. You can let it sit longer, but 5 to 15 minutes will give you at least a good juicy texture. But you can taste you just taste it all. And that really is something quite amazing. And the fresh parsley on top is actually really killer. And I knew it would be. I mean, parsley is good as a garnish on a lot of dishes. But that being said, try this. I guarantee you will thoroughly enjoy it. I know for being a new dish, something I've never tried before, I like it. I will add it to the recipe box, even though we're not doing that anymore. In case you're new, I have a recipe box that sits on this shelving unit here down at the bottom. And if it was a recipe we like, I'd rewrite it out and put it in the box. Box is full. So we are down to just keeping things in notebooks. I got one for dinners, one for desserts. And so anyhow, try this. And if you do try it, let me know. Leave me a comment down below and say, Brian, you're right. That was a great dish. Or Brian, really, that wasn't all that. Either way, I'd like to know either way. Or if you do something different with it, add something to it, take something away. Remember, anything you cook, you can make it your own. So, that being said, like I said, let me know. Tomorrow, we are going to do a 3 chocolate salted caramel cookie that is going to blow your socks off. Just blow your socks off. It'll be a good time, and I'm sure that'll be something you want to try also. It'll make a good snack. So anyhow, try this. Have it with a salad. I'm going to go eat dinner with my family, have some family time. That's what we like to do. I suggest you make this and have family time with your family. Remember, under 30 minutes, weeknight meal. Awesome stuff. That being said, I love you. I love you very much. Tell somebody else you love them and you love them very much. It's going to make their day a whole lot better, I guarantee it. Stay safe. Don't forget to get vaccinated. And I will see you tomorrow for some chocolate caramel salted cookies. See you tomorrow. Bye.